Michelle with Silver Lining Daydreams. Thanks for joining me today on our fall home tour. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad that you found us. Please consider subscribing. It really helps us out and we really appreciate it. We love to make videos on what we're updating in our home and also in our RV. I'm super excited to share our fall home tour with you this year. We wanted to have simplicity, we wanted to have warmth in our home, and we wanted it all inspired by nature. We really like to have a more clean and minimal look in our house and not have too many things vying for attention. So let's get started down in the entryway. This is our entrance when you first come into the home. We did decorate the porch this year and I really like the way that it turns out. I'll link that, we made a video with it and I'll link it in the description below. And then over here is, we call it our mitten dresser because we literally keep mittens in here. So on top here, we like to keep it pretty clear. Like to have the light on. I think that it's welcoming when people come in. And then we have two floating frames here and just some leaves that we found on a walk, pine cones and acorns that we collected when we were in the forest with the grandkids. This is a wood slice that Brad had cut for me this year. He made several of them on varying sizes and I love them. Just absolutely love them. So you're gonna see them all throughout the house. We try to go with things that are just a little bit different than what everybody else has, and I love the way that it turned out this year. We tried to add a couple of fall statement pieces this year, and it's easier to relax in when things aren't like over the top, and it's also easier on the budget. So right here, there's just a couple of natural leaves, and this little sign that I got on Etsy, and just says, "Hey there, pumpkin." Just think it's super cute. And then we'll come over here and I'll show you the gallery wall. We added a few things, changed things a little, and a picture here, I took that this year, just love the simplicity of it. And we added a couple of things that I got off of Etsy, had them printed on just plain white paper, super inexpensive. Added some artwork that we had from a vacation we took a couple of years ago. And then the other thing that we added, this little bird, it's super cute. It's just kind of a little fun surprise thing in there. And we have a vintage vial over here that Brad had from his pharmacy collection. And then this other little one that matches, and I bought that this year new, and I think I got that at Hobby Lobby. Then I just added super simple garland. I didn't want a whole lot of things just kind of competing and vying for attention. So a super simple garland here, a little bit in there. Added some wood slices that Brad cut for me, and a few little leaves that we picked up from the Arboretum this year and tucked all of those in. And I love the way that everything just came together this year. Because this window here faces south, I knew that a real pumpkin wasn't going to be able to last here. So I had this pumpkin from Target and I put that here. Brad made me another slice of wood and put that there, added some leaves, a little bit of a garland here. The other thing with this area here, I wanted to make sure that it was short enough because this is where Brad and we sit in the morning, we drink our coffee here, and I want to be able to, when you're sitting back, we want to be able to see each other and not have a big, like a plant or some big floral arrangement or something like that blocking our view. So I wanted it to be short, small, simple, and I think this really fits the bill. It's been too warm for us to use the wood burner right now, so I was able to decorate this area a little bit more for right now anyhow. And over here, I just put a real simple plant. It's a real plant, and because again, we have all of this southern exposure. And so a real simple plant and a stack of wood, some fresh leaves, and little fairy lights on there. And I think it looks super pretty. And then on this side, I have a real mum and a battery operated candle, some pumpkins, pine cones, leaves, and a really thick slice of wood that Brad made for me. I like that size. It has some substance to it, and it just has a nice base for this area. In the living room, we added just a few other things this year. We added crabapple branches up there. They're fresh and they're from our backyard. They look real pretty. And the other thing that is both functional and pretty are blankets and pillows. This, I made a slipcover here and it was super inexpensive. I bought the gold blanket over here. I bought that at Home Goods this year. It was like $20 or $25. I really like it. And the other things that we already had in the living room. And I really like the way that it turned out this year. If I'm going through something and you have a question about it, or I don't explain something very well, feel free to leave us a comment below. Moving on to the kitchen, the table and the chandelier, they're one of my favorite places in the whole house. We just like how simple it is, and on the kitchen table, I just have a cutting board that I had, pumpkins that we grew, and then a really super simple garland that I added. We don't like to keep a lot of stuff on the table because I don't want to move everything when we go to use the table to eat at or if we want to work at it. On the chandelier, we just added this real simple garland and just think that it gives just a little bit of pop of color and it looks really pretty. And then the rest of the kitchen, we just added a few things here and there, and I'll show you around. We have some pumpkin spice muffins, really good. Have those on the counter here. Over on the hot pad, we have a small pumpkin that we grew and a small garland around that. By the salt and pepper, I added a few leaves and an apple just to give it a little bit of color over here, and then we have a bowl full of apples. I bought these towels this year at Home Goods, and I think that they're simple, they look really good together, and I think that they look good in the kitchen as well. Now I'm going to show you over at the coffee nook. In the coffee nook, we added just a couple of pumpkins on the top shelf and a small one down here by the ground coffee. The longer we're on this simple living journey, the more we have a desire to keep things clean and clear and not have the desire to fill every surface. I think that we can decorate our homes without spending tons of money every season. And when you're using natural elements, it still has that warm and welcoming vibe to it, and it creates a place, an atmosphere that you're going to want to spend time in. If you've enjoyed today's video, give us a thumbs up. And please subscribe so you don't miss any of our next videos on all things home and RV. Thanks again. Bye-bye. See you next time.